Hello, everyone. Blue Star Saber here once again to discuss another Star Wars Bad Batch review. And I've just realized I forgot to put the Bad Batch in the title, but that's something I'm going to have to do a bit later. But since I've now started the episode, but anyway, Star Wars Episode 15, the Bad Batch review, Part 1 of the finale, which is Return to Kamino, which the title of the episode is different from the one on the Disney Plus screen, but hey. Who knows? Maybe they'll change that later. I'm not sure, but when the second part comes out, who knows? But yeah. So anyway, you've got like. So anyway, you have like I believe you have like let's see, Crosshair and Hunter heading back to Kamino and all that stuff. Where I believe Hunter's asking where they're going and him telling him you'll see and all that stuff. And meanwhile, you have like the Bad Batch trying to repair the ship with Echo trying to explain they need to repair the ship first before before they can go rescue Hunter, though Echo's a bit impatient. It's during this time we learn that I think Wrecker's left Gregor in care of Sid, and she's not happy about it. Bit disappointing that that's one of my alarms. Bit disappointing to see that not see Gregor and Sid again. But heck, I guess maybe we're lucky. We'll see them for the finale. But if the Bad Batch return from Kamino, which is where they're heading to, not to mention I forgot to mention Crosshair has put on Hunter's comlink. Comlink. I don't know, something that allows the Bad Batch to track him. And all that stuff. I think it's comlink. Yeah, the comlink, which in order to follow them. The Bad Batch knows it's a trap, but they go, anyway. All right, back on Kamino, Crosshair says to Vice Admiral Rampart that, the rest of the squad will come, but, but he has a plan on dealing with that, and he's taking Crosshair to, I think, the command center of Kamino. However, one of Crosshair's troops, I believe ES-02, ends up voicing her concern. This one is, I believe, the woman with the black hair amongst his original squad and all that stuff. Now, granted, it seems like new members have been added from what I can tell a bit later on. But yeah, she ends up telling Rampart that she doesn't really trust the clown's motives. However, Rampart says that by the end of this, all the clones will be dealt with and all that stuff. Or implying that if Crosshair doesn't comply, at least he's disposable. At least showing that Crosshair is least disposable, regardless if he betrays them or not and all that stuff. So there. Anyway, the Bad Batch arrive in Kamino, and Omega has has a secret entry point in which the Bad Batch can use, in which she gets them to land near for the water, in which a docking bay appears, and then with a pod that leads to, funny enough, Nala says laboratory in which she and the Bad Batch were, genetically altered and all that stuff. Pretty much where they were born and all that thing, I guess. So we end up seeing where the Bad Batch were specifically born and all that stuff, which is interesting. Well, granted, all the files have been erased, so probably means that we're going to get. Probably means that eventually probably for season 2, the Bad Batch will probably try and encounter Nala Se, and all that stuff, and see Nala Se and see where and we'll probably learn a bit more about their origins. But for now, the clones end up reuniting with an old acquaintance, AZI-3. The lovable droid that we've known since Fives Day, and which he apparently explained that all the clones and Kaminoans have been taken off world, or killed in case for the Kaminoans that resisted, or for the first clones have all been reassigned. I should probably mention earlier that as we see in Kamino, there's only TK troopers, the original, the prototype stormtroopers, and all that stuff, and prototype stormtroopers, and let's see, only Imperials are there. None of the Camonans when, Hunter arrived. So, yeah. So, AZCI-3 ended up hiding. And it looks like he's joining the Bad Batch. In fact, it seems like I wouldn't be surprised if he becomes a regular companion for them during, like, the second season. But, yeah. Anyway, they go off to find Hunter, whereas Com is, when they realize he's at the communication center. Anyway, during this time, I think we end up seeing, let's see, Hunter trying to plead with Crosshair not to do this, like he's being controlled with the chip. However, he's not listening, even when he tells him that the Empire is replacing the clones. However, Crosshair feels like that won't matter. Only the good ones will stay around, implying that he seems to think that as long as they're as skilled as him, they'll be fine. But eventually he takes them to the training room to chat the rest of the Bad Batch, which the Bad Batch, when eventually the Bad Batch eventually goes to the training room, but they realize it's a trap. So instead of trying to go through the regular entrance, they try to do the docking bay thing, which they think Crosshair wouldn't suspect. However, they tell Omega to, stay behind with like AZ. And if, and if something goes wrong when they communicate with her, she should, flee with AC back to the ship and try and contact Rex to come and rescue them and to see what to do next and possibly come rescue them. Anyway, as they enter the docking bay, it turns out that Crosshair did know what they were doing, as Wrecker points out to Tech with his plan, as they are surrounded by a Crosshair's squad and all that stuff. Granted, I should probably mention that Gritzy with like Hunter there. So, granted, during this time, I should have mentioned, I think Crosshair talked about how the Bad Batch didn't give him a chance, despite the fact they did try to kill him. Despite the fact Crosshair did try to kill him and all that stuff. But yeah. Anyway, the Bad Batch forced to surrender their arms and all that stuff. So they're surrounded. But Crosshair ends up having ESO2 go find Omega. Bad Batch did the contact thing to her. Though rather than flee, she and AZ planned on using like the training droids in the area to cause a bit of chaos up there to come help and rescue them. Now, granted, well, I'll get to that yet, though. So yeah, which ES2 eventually gets there, though Edge eventually finds Omega, though Easy knocks her out for a bit with when loading one of the droids, in which they eventually release up the area. Anyway, Crosshair reveals that he doesn't really want to kill the Bad Batch, but wants to give them a choice to join the Empire. When his squad refuses to stand down, he shoots them. It's like the sort of mirror effect that he kind of the sort of bing bong bang. The diagonal moving shot that he does. Trying to remember how to describe it really. Sorry. He ends up shooting and killing all his squads with one shot. You know what he kind of did with those lineup droids in the Bad Batch episode in the Clone Wars. The Bad Batch squad is confused why he's doing this and that stuff. And eventually it's revealed that, the Bad Batch don't want to join the Empire, even though they says they're the superior beings and that stuff. Or superior clones. He's trying to give them a choice to join the Empire. They're saying that they don't want to, and that Crosshair doesn't have to join the Empire just because of the chip in his head. However, it's revealed that Crosshair does not have the chip in his head. And just around this time, Omega's training droids arrive and they start fighting the Bad Batch, which they end up all shooting and firing. And this is the first time you see the Bad Batch working together since, the last time they were in the training room. So yeah. During this time, ESO2 has woken up and has seen that her squad is dead and the Bad Batch are fighting alongside each other, so she ends up fleeing, telling Rampart that the mission, Crosshair's plan has failed, which he tells her to evacuate. and so and she's the last, let's see, important personnel they need to go, showing that he's completely abandoned both Crosshair as well from the clones, as he's preparing like the 3 Fenta-class Star Destroyers. I probably should have mentioned that there's only 3 now, as the majority of the ships that the Republic used to / Empire used to have there are now gone. And yeah, so they're about to prepare to bomb the city. But anyway, as the Bad Batch, I finished off the thing. It looks like Hunter and Crosshair are about to have a standoff. However, Hunter is able to stun him. Let's see, and has Wrecker carry him while he carries his equipment. I should probably mention during this time, Omega ends up also helping out when she goes to like one of the observation deck bits, or one of the higher parts in the training area, when she realized she sent too much droids as they're hitting her friends. But yeah, but now that they're all together, let's see, Hunter tries to order them all to evacuate, and once this happens, this is when the bombardment happens, and just as they're trying to reach to like the other side of the Camino, for their transport, pod to the ship, the bridge ends up being blown up, so they're kind of stuck, and it looks like, and the episode ends with like the Camino, sort of like the Camino city or Camino hub thing of like building, as you will, sinking down, and all that stuff, or falling down as it's being bombarded, and that ends the episode. Must admit, what a big cliffhanger for the episode. Of our thoughts, now. It's very interesting that we finally get to learn Crosshair's motives and all that stuff, and what he plans to do with the Bad Batch, as he's like taking Hunter to Camino and all that stuff, as it's finally revealed that Crosshair wants his squad to fully come back and join the Empire and all that stuff, and believes that, they're the superior clones compared to the regs. And it's revealed that he has removed his inhibitor chip, though we don't know how long he has, because for all we know, he might have removed it long before. He might have removed it very soon. It's hard to say when he removed the chip. It's either, for we know, it might be sometime after the first episode, even before then. Now, if it does, it makes me wonder why. He was acting a bit sort of programmed a bit during the first episode, but heck, we end up learning his motivation. He wants his squad back and all that stuff, and he ends up, even killing his own squad mates to do it. To give the Bad Batch this sort of like choice and all that stuff. So yeah. So granted, I am a bit curious. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, his motives are just to get the Bad Batch to join, and it seems like he's always been like, he's always seemed to believe the Empire over the Republic, regardless of whether or not he has the chip in his brain. So yeah, it does make you wonder. And we do have Hunter trying to check if he did remove this chip, like on the burned scar thing, but heck, it seems to be the case. So it's like he's checking, okay, did he remove the chip? Well, granted, I'm pretty certain it was closer to the forehead, but I don't really see the scar thing, but yeah. So we finally get like Crosshair's motives, though he's now knocked unconscious, so we have to wait and see what happens in the next episode and all that stuff. If I had to guess, he'd probably join the Bad Batch for season 2, though I'll get more into details that later. Anyway, before that, it's nice to see like Omega's, at the beginning of the episode, Omega's worry about, Hunter when like they're trying to repair the ship and all that stuff. Though I'm a bit disappointed that like I say, we didn't get to see Gregor or Sid at all, because I was curious to see the reaction to like the failed mission, though who knows, maybe they'll appear for the 2-part finale where Rex is. I don't know, possibly, but I guess we'll have to wait and see for that. But yeah. Although I do like how Crosshair knows like how the Bad Batch his squad will come to rescue Hunter with the comlinks, and knows how they'll enter like, from like the training ground area. He really knows his squad very well, despite Tech's own plans. Let's see, it makes you wonder if Tech's really the smart one and not Crosshair, but hey. But yeah. Anyway, I do like how, let's see, when the Bad Batch arrive, Omega shows them, like, let's see, there's a secret entrance to get in where it's revealed that it's one of the secret entrances to Nala Se's, like, Kamino lab in which the Bad Batch was born and all that and stuff. So, yeah, it's sort of like a nice setup. And not to mention, with all the data on it, let's see, removed, that all the setup from, like, probably showing the setup for what's going to happen with the Bad Batch for the second season of, like, you know, them possibly learning more about their origins from Nala Se and all that stuff, because clearly she had some motive of why Omega needs to be safe and all that stuff, and her own plans for the Bad Batch, I guess, or at least Omega. But yeah, it's interesting to learn that they've all been, you know, created, let's see, in the lab and all that stuff. And it was nice to see ACI free, or AC3, if you will, and revealed that, let's see, informing them how all the clones have been reinside and all the scientists have been taken away or killed as they resisted, and all that stuff. I have still have no idea what the fate of the Prime Minister is, but who knows? Perhaps we'll never know, really. We might have to assume that he's dead, but who knows? I guess we'll have to wait and see if we see him again for season 2, or if an interview from, like, someone at Lucasfilm confirms that, oh, he's dead or something. But yeah. Well, interesting about that. So yeah, so it seems like AZI will probably be joining the Bad Batch in their squad and probably be their droid companion besides Gonki, like, let's see, for like season 2 and all that stuff, which I'm on board for. So it's like another cast member to shed light on, I guess, or, you know, like the droid that Fives was with. I mean, it'll be very interesting to see Echo and this droid interact, because, well, AC helped Fives with the inhibitor chips storyline and all that stuff, so that'll be interesting. Overall, I do like how, one of, Crosshair's squad mates, ESO2, has been questioning, like, Crosshair's motives, goes to Rampart and revealed that Rampart, regardless if Crosshair succeeds or fails, views him as disposable, and even if he betrays or, like, fails, he will dispose of him, which we saw when he ordered the Star Destroyers or Phantom Class Star Destroyers to, you know, bomb the Kamino City and all that stuff. Heck, there was even, blimey, I have to admit, seeing all those clones there, those clone personnel there, makes not hesitating to destroy what was once their home. Bit heartening, to be honest, because, well, if you remember the Clone Wars Kamino arcs, the clones felt personal about them trying to protect their home during the Battle of Kamino. But now it's gone and all that stuff, or at least it's sinking. So yeah, I do like how Omega's plans to help the Bad Batch eventually becomes a bit of a sort of hindrance when she released too many of the droids. It sort of distracts them enough, though it does give, like, the Bad Batch one last, their first fully team up since, you know, the first episode in the training room. And the circle's fully complete, I guess you could say. As you get Crosshair fighting alongside his squad one last time. No, granted, well, maybe not last time, for all we know. He will come and, you know, join them for the next season, but we have to wait and see and all that stuff. I do like how Crosshair kills his, like, squad mates, except ESO2. For all we know, she might end up becoming, like, the next bad guy who will go after, like, the Bad Batch. Though who knows? We have to get to wait and see. Because it looks like all these special trained, troopers are going to be, like, replaced by, like, the TK troopers, who are probably going to become stormtroopers by, you know, season 2 or something. But yeah, I probably forgot to mention that TK True were, like, based on the concept art that Ralph McQuire did for, like, the first episode of Star Wars, which is kind of cool to see and all that stuff. So yeah, overall, but yeah, But I definitely like the cliffhanger in which Kumino's sinking, so now you have the Bad Batch trying to rescue. Overall, I'll give this episode, I think, an 8.5 out of 10. I'm not sure. Let's see, maybe a 9, depending on my mood. Maybe, well, 8 to 9 out of 10, somewhere along those lines. Let's see. We finally learn Crosshair's motivations and the twist that he's had is in him to chip removed from a long time ago. Now, how long remains to be seen, and that's the reason why. Let's see, it fulfilled that. Let's see, maybe everything that's taken place is by his own choosing, which means, okay, you can't really go for the guilt from like removing the Hibbo chip. Because he did quite a few horrible things, such as ordering the deaths of those civilians on, Onderon, attempting to assassinate, Unfree Tar, it's Senator, the Twilight Senator, I think it's Unfree Tar, and all that stuff, and who knows what else off screen. But well, Star Wars does have a habit of doing redemption stories, so whether or not Crosshair deserves it remains to be seen. But yeah, so there's that. Now, granted, let's see, Hunter this time seems to finally makes the choice of taking his squad mate, not leaving him behind. Now, whether or not he willingly changes from the Empire to like what the squad is about. This is nice to know that. Let's see, Hunter always views the brotherhood of his squad more important than whatever faction they're serving. That stuff, but yeah, regardless, it seems clones are being fully replaced by the Empire, and Rampart showing that he no longer seems to care about the clones. Heck, even Crosshair's disposable, but yeah. So we get the cliffhanger of Kamino being destroyed, learning at least the facility being destroyed, learning where the Bad Batch came from, or get hints of where they came from, though the data of which they are, remains to be a mystery probably for season 2. And it looks like AZ3 is joining. So yeah, overall fun episode. I'm looking forward to the finale, which is next week and all that stuff. And who knows? Hopefully, it'll be enough to hype up the announced second season that's been confirmed and all that stuff. I think it was confirmed a few weeks ago, but it's been reminded. I think for the hype up for the finale and all that stuff. Overall, I've enjoyed the episode. I'm Blue Star Saber signing off. May the Force be with you.